Good Thursday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, you want us at a fantastic Thursday. I am your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson. Let's go on and talk about the weather for your Thursday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we are going to talk about tonight. Well, obviously, first, before we get into that, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. We've had 5 people tune in and only 3 likes right now, so go on and hit the like button. Number two, if you have not hit the subscribe button yet and you are new and you have never hit the subscribe button before, go on and hit the subscribe button. Right now, at 613. We are 87 away from that main goal of 700, and then we are 12 away from that quarter of the way goal, 625. That, and then also make sure that you go and share it. Share it with all the people that you know, family, friends, acquaintances, people that you met in the grocery store, co-workers, people you don't like. Just send it to somebody so they can go on, come here, and also not only support the channel, but also get their weather forecast. That, and then also we do have a poll inside the chat for tonight. It is obviously Thursday. That means that the drought predictions are here, and they are ready so far. I'm already seeing the results starting to pour in, so go on and vote inside that poll right now. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, obviously we will talk about the current conditions, what's going on currently throughout the state. We also will talk about what's going on tonight throughout the state of South Carolina, and then what's going on with our short-term future, what's going on with the long-term future. We'll talk about the drought, obviously. We'll talk about the tropics. We'll talk about our warming trend and potentially still kind of un, just not really too accurate, I should say, or we just don't know what's going to happen as we get into Thanksgiving. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. I can't find the words for it right now. But pretty much it's uncertain right now as we go towards that Thanksgiving time frame of, is it really going to be cold? Is it going to be warm? That's still 2 weeks out, and that still is still a long way out. So we still just have a long way to see. But we're going to start off, before we get into that, what's going on in terms of the state of South Carolina currently. Well, right now, absolutely nothing. As of 8:54 p.m., no rainfall is falling over the entire state of South Carolina. So that's something good here that we can look at for now. But obviously, with the drought conditions, not the best. But now, if we go in and look at what's going on throughout the entire U.S., yes, we do have some rainfall / some snowfall going on in Maine, going on in New Hampshire, Vermont, going into New York, Pennsylvania, and then some rainfall going over here in the West. Very active. We're having some flash flooding going on inside of California, and then some rainfall continuing just to the north, Oregon, Idaho, Washington, and these areas over here. Now, in terms of our cloud cover, we do have some cloud cover right now. Do have some cloud cover going through the Midlands, going through the Low Country, going through the PD, the Grand Strand, and even the Upstate. Even the Upstate getting on some of that cloud cover right now. Even if we go into the future as well, going and push this forward, cloud cover seems possible, and I can maybe even see some fog potentially going on in the Low Country, going on inside of the Southern Midlands as well. And so fog cover definitely possible. And as we just move into like the afternoon, evening hours though of tomorrow, it looks very good, very nice. Even as we go into Saturday morning, though, looks like some more fog is potentially possible as we go into Saturday morning, Friday night, going into Saturday morning. But things clear off, but then some more cloud cover will be pushing in from the north. And this is right here around Saturday night. Cloud cover moving in a lot from the north. Current temperatures right now, 55 in Columbia as well as 55 in Orangeburg, 54 in Somerville as well as 55 in Georgetown, 57 in Melrose Inland, even around 58 in Myrtle Beach, 53 Conway, 52 inside of Florence. We even have around 56 in Charleston, 48 in Lancaster, 49 in Spartanburg, and 50 in Greenville, 52 in Clemson, and 54 inside of Anderson. Low temperatures for tonight, you have around 40 in Greenville, 38 inside of Spartanburg, 37 in Rock Hill, and 39 in Columbia, 42 in Orangeburg, 38 in Florence and Sumter, and even around 45 in Myrtle Beach, 42 in Moncks Corner inside of Georgetown, and 48 in Charleston, and 52 in Hilton Island. Now, for your rainfall for tonight, no accumulable precipitation is expected, meaning that if rainfall does fall, it's not going to total of up to 1/100 of an inch of rainfall. And so that means that we don't really have to watch out for too much rainfall, and we'll talk about that in the models in just a second. Now for the crazy score, we're at an 11. We are at an 11 inside the calm category, no significant weather, clear skies, light clouds. And that's pretty much what's going to happen. As we go through tonight, dry conditions, no flood risk, no severe risk, chilly. Lows obviously will be in the upper 30s to low 40s, 5 to 10 degrees below normal. And then pretty much the skies will, it will clear up a little bit as we go throughout the nighttime hours, but for the most part, for some people, definitely still cloudy. And then radiation cooling will go on just as we go throughout the state as well for tonight. Now for the SPC outlook, thunderstorm activity is definitely not going to happen. Definitely not going to happen. Even as you go into tomorrow and Saturday, no thunderstorm activity is expected. Excessive rainfall, same thing. If I go throughout all the 5 days, no excessive rainfall is expected. So let's go in and talk about the models. And if I'm going to be completely honest with you, it's the same song over and over and over again, as nothing is going on throughout the state as we go throughout the next 48 hours. And so we're going to be nice and dry throughout this time frame. And so let's just go in and talk about the future. Not going to waste any time at all. And we're going to start off where we just ended off at right here. Just as you continue all the way throughout towards the 17th-ish. So some more rainfall potentially ongoing around us, but not really too much inside the state. And this is a low range model, so things can change. I'm seeing some rainfall potentially maybe on the 18th, going into the 19th, but the 20th as well, bringing potentially some rainfall. And just during that time frame. Now, as you move throughout the 21st, the 22nd, still shows some rainfall, but again, not much at all. And you can see, almost looks like a little system here. If we go on into what's going on here, it looks like it might be a little bit of a front trying to move through. And this front right here, if you go on and look at it, this is the 22nd. Time is in the top right corner of your screen. If we go on and now look at the anomalies as well, you can see that it's not really bringing too much of cold air. It's really just bringing in a good amount of dry air. Now, some cold air could potentially be, like a day or two in the future, but for the most part, the warm air really stays there, even if we go into shaded temperatures. I mean, you can see some cold air tries to come through, tries to come down a little bit. You get back into the 40s and stuff like that. But for this time of year, we're now getting to the point to where 40s are just getting to be the normal low temperatures for a good amount of us now. And so that's why when you see these maps, it says above average, because we're getting towards that time of year now to where 40s are starting to get normal, 50s and 40s. And so that's why when you go on and look at these 40s right here, you go on and look at the anomalies. You can see some cool air right there, but I probably should go to this one's probably be a better example. You see some 50s over here, some 60s, all that kind of stuff. But then you go back and look at it, and for the most part, you still have these above average temperatures here. And so for the most part, it looks like that this probably would be a cold front right here that brings its way through. Now, if we go even further into the future, past that, here we go, right here, going even further into the future. Again, not really seeing too much of anything until you get to around the 25th-ish. Another little area right here of more dry and cold air could potentially try to come through again on the 25th going to the 26th. Yes, that is a couple of days before Thanksgiving at that time frame. And so another little cold front can move through. And then guess what? Right after that, on the 28th, the 29th, we have a little stationary front here that kind of just stays stationary over in Missouri over into southern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and these areas over here where it stays stationary. And a lot of these areas inside of this sector just get a lot of rainfall. And if that was to occur, that would cause some pretty good flooding issues, not only for Texas and Louisiana, but also up into Mississippi, over into Arkansas, to Tennessee, to Alabama, to Georgia, to North Carolina, and just barely leaves us out of it. But again, 384 hours out, that will probably change. But that would be a lot of rainfall. Definitely would help the drought, though. Definitely would help the drought if I was to say so. Now, if we go back and check out the shaded, again, just the anomalies again, as you just go in and push this forward again. I mean, cold air is there, but warm air takes right over, immediately again. And then you go into the 26th, the 27th, cold air, but warm air takes right back over. And so as soon as the cold front and as soon as the cold air kind of makes its way into the state, as soon as it gets into the state, the warm air honestly just tries to take it back over almost immediately in almost all these scenarios. And so this next period here just seems to be one of those periods to where the warm air definitely dominates the most over the cold air at this point. And so that's all I have to really say about the future. Nothing else really for me to talk about there. The tropics, nothing is going on here for the tropics, but we always go on and look at the anomalies either way and just see what's going on there. So I already got the loop ready. Let's go on and show my screen here. Boom, right here you can see starting off here. Still, you can see some stuff going on like in the Southern Caribbean, but for the most part, it looks like that we're going to stay still quiet. This is now going into the 23rd of November. So another good sign after good sign after good sign here. Now that is out of the way, I do want to go on and show one more thing with the tropics real quick first, before I go on and move off of that and we move to the drought monitor if we have a good amount of votes there. If you go through the next 2 to 3 weeks, this goes all the way from November the 19th all the way to December the 2nd, so that's all the way past hurricane season. But, I mean, you go on and look at this. It's not really saying too much of anything. It's saying that it's going to, during like November the 19th through the 25th, it's going to stay drier. And then even as you go into week 3, November the 26th through December the 2nd, shows some rainfall, but for the most part, look at this. Nothing in terms of tropical cyclone formation probability. You can see over here at the bottom left. Everything that's really talking about is just over there in like Eastern Asia. But if we go back over here to where we are, absolutely nothing. So is that the end of hurricane season? As I say, absolutely not. We still have to wait until December the 1st, the last day of hurricane season. But for the most part, I would say if December the 1st was not the last day, I would say that I think that we probably, for the most part, are done. But, like I said, we still go on and take every day still, we have to be prepared for the worst case scenario. But it's looking very unlikely that something will happen. I will say that myself. Let's go on now and talk about, wait, hold on, let me check and see how much votes we have. We have a good amount. I think we can go on and talk about the drought monitor now. So we can just go on and get it done with and out of the way. So if you have no idea what the drought prediction is, the prediction that we see, just what we think is going on throughout the state of South Carolina. How's the drought going? And just what you think is happening. So for the most part, 43% thinks that the drought has grown, and 57% says that the drought has shrunk / stayed the same. Nobody said that the drought is gone, and nobody said that the abnormally dry and the drought is gone. And I'm going to have to rule out those two as well. Don't think that the drought is gone. I can go on right now, though, and if I go to observe precipitation, go through the past 168 hours, so you know, I haven't made my prediction yet. I have not seen the map yet, so I don't know either. But for right now, it looks like that a good amount of rainfall has fallen, but in that drought area that was over there near, like the western low country, that area didn't get too much rainfall at all. And even if I go up there and look over towards where that drought is over there in like the northern, pretty much a good amount of the upstate, some rainfall fell, but a lot of areas didn't see some rainfall or too much rainfall at all either. So I'm actually going to be with the crowd that said that the drought has grown. I'm going to, just making a bold prediction. I have no idea. But definitely, a good amount of rainfall fell in some areas, but did it fall in the areas that needed it? No. Like I see a lot of that rainfall fell in like the Tri-County areas of Dorchester, Berkeley, Charleston County, but those areas don't need rainfall as much as other areas that are actually inside of a drought right now. And so let's go and get a drum roll real quick and check and see what this drought monitor actually shows. So this is what the drought monitor shows right now, and I'll pull up the other one real quick. But drought is still in session. Drought is still here inside the state, and so far, So far, everyone's still in play here because nobody said that the drought is gone or the abnormally dry and the drought is gone. So everyone's still in play right now. As I go on and get this other one real quick. Let me go on and get that right there. I believe it was with the snow in November. That was the one that we talked about it. Go on and push this all the way through. I talked about a lot of stuff because that was the stuff with the snow forecast there. Here it is right here. Okay. Got it. Just getting it to load real quick. There we go. Alright, so this is what it looked like the last time. So that's what it looked like the last time right here. This was last week's. And you compare that from now to this one. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't really see any difference. I'm be honest. It looks like that it more looked like it almost like shrunk a little bit, if not. But nothing really changed with it. Nothing really changed. So I was actually wrong with this one. And so congratulations to the 43, I believe the majority of the people said. 57. So congratulations to the 57% that said that the drought has shrunk / stayed the same. You were correct tonight. And so, to the 43% in me, hey, we're gonna come back next week. We're gonna be in the win column again. I know I will be. I will be inside the win column again next week though. But let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, let me see if I can go on. There it is, right there. Live chat. I believe my Aunt Lulu was here tonight. If I can find... There we go. Okay. She was here first, and she said, good evening. Everyone, good evening to you. Mr. Gray says, good evening to you. My Aunt Lulu comes back and says that I pray that everyone had a wonderful, enjoyable day. I did. Thank you so much for asking. Mr. Gray says, hope everybody had a good day. It was very nice here in Moncks Corner. Very few clouds, and it was comfortable. Well, glad to hear that. Thank you so much for the weather update. Mr. Etty says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Mr. Chris also says, look forward to this warm weather coming up. I am too. Definitely am too. Everyone knows I'm not a winter fan at all. I mean, I do like, the holidays in it, but I don't really care for the temperatures, the cold temperatures like that as much. So, yes, I will definitely enjoy these warmer temperatures coming up as well. He also says, please remember to go and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also share with everyone that you know. Help the channel grow. And, yes, support it. He's absolutely correct. We've had 17 people tune in and only 7 likes. If you are part of that 10 that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. And if you're new and you have never hit the subscribe button before, go on and do so. It's free. And you can also change your mind if you want to. My Aunt Lulu says, today in Georgetown it was sunny and a little chilly. Thank you so much for that weather update. My Nana says, hello, Jay. Very nice day. I walked a little distance without my cane. That's fantastic. Glad to hear that. My cousin Cheryl says, good evening, weatherman. Good evening to everyone. Hope all is still staying warm. Sunshiny in Philly. The cold weatherman let me know about the weekend before I go out. Be blessed, Cheryl. Do you want, or be blessed, everyone. Do you want me to talk about that tonight? Because I can talk about that tonight for you. I can go on and talk about that this weekend over inside of Philadelphia tonight. Once we get to that. And then Mr. Chris says, I'm optimistic that it would be nice on Thanksgiving. We'll see. We're still 2 weeks out, and as I said, the models still are just inconsistent right now. We just got to wait for them to get a little bit more consistent with it. Thad says, good evening, everyone. I trust all is well. Another beautiful, blessed day here in San Antonio. Glad to hear that. And Terrell said, I didn't go outside today. It was nice and comfortable inside. Well, if it's nice and comfortable inside, I don't see why you wouldn't stay inside. And that's all that I say. That's all that I see here inside of the chat for tonight. If you want to go on and leave a chat, you can. You just have to go on and, like I said, be a subscriber. Have to have a YouTube account. And you can go on and leave a chat right now. I'll come back to the chat in just a moment. But first, before we get back to that, let's go on and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking 4 locations. What am I talking about? I'm talking about I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. If you, we usually talk about these locations because we have people from those areas who tune in nightly, almost nightly, sometimes nightly, and so we go on and talk about their forecast because of the support that they show. Even though their locations aren't the main point, they still go on and support. So starting off with San Antonio first, you have low temperatures tonight at 63, high temperatures tomorrow 84, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 63. No precipitation is expected at this time, but the next time you actually could potentially see some rainfall for the most part. I mean, even if I go through the next 7 days, I'm going to be honest, it's going to be like next week, Tuesday. So it's going to be definitely going to be a little bit of time here, but things can change. Then next we have Raleigh, North Carolina. No severe weather or excessive rainfall for you at San Antonio either. Low temperatures tonight at 35, high temperatures tomorrow at 64, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 47. No precipitation is expected at this time. Same thing with severe weather and excessive rainfall. Then for Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 35, high temperatures tomorrow at 52, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 34. No precipitation is expected at this time. But you said you wanted me to go on and look at this weekend. Saturday. It's going to be around mostly sunny, slight chance of rain, like a 20% on Saturday, high of 56. But Saturday night, not going to be good. 80% chance of rainfall. Rainfall pretty much is expected on Saturday night, a low of around 49. And then Sunday, still have a 20% chance of rainfall. And you're going to have that high of around 61. And so it's not going to be the best weekend. Definitely not going to be the best. But, obviously, as we get closer to it, I'll let you know about it, especially as we get into Saturday night and those nights. And then that's it in terms of Philadelphia. No severe weather or excessive rainfall for you. And then finally, for Duncan, Oklahoma, low temperatures tonight at 56, high temperatures tomorrow at 82, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 58. No precipitation. Same thing with excessive rainfall and severe weather. Honestly, just looking nice for now. Things will change, though. Now, what's going on throughout the entire U.S. right now as we speak? An atmospheric river will continue to bring gusty to high winds, moderate to heavy rainfall, and potential flooding to California through Saturday. Dry, gusty winds will bring elevated fire weather conditions to parts of the central and the southern high plains through Friday, as red flag warnings have been issued. And for the most part, that's about it. So we just have the atmospheric river going on in the western part, going to California, going into potentially over into, bringing some gusty winds over to Oregon, Montana, in those areas. But the main part's going to be down there inside of California, and then obviously some red flag warnings as some fire conditions are definitely possible throughout southern South Dakota and western Nebraska, and that's about it. So that, nothing inside the email. If you want to go in and send me an email, you can by sending it to scweather360@gmail.com. Again, that is scweather360@gmail.com. Top fans for the night tonight. If I go back on and check real quick, Mr. Chris is at number 1. My Aunt Lula is at number 2. And then number 3 for tonight, I believe, is Trail. So congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans for the night tonight. If you want to be a top fan, you can. You just have to be a subscriber of the channel, be here early, and be active inside the chat. And that's all that I have to say for tonight. I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow night for our Friday evening forecast update. So just to let you know there, I will keep you posted in the post section of the YouTube page. So make sure that you want to pay attention there. But if I don't say anything there, then I probably will be live. But I might just make a post just in case to say if I will be live or I won't be live. So make sure that you want to pay attention to that around like 8:30, 8:35, 8:40, somewhere around there. You can go on and check it and see what I have over there. And that's all that I have. So make sure that you tune back in tomorrow morning for our Friday morning, because I still will be here Friday morning for your Friday forecast update. We just got to get through tomorrow, and then we will be at the weekend. Finally, we will be there.